Start. Hello everyone, I'm starting my timer for our members. Welcome. I hope you guys all had a fantastic holiday season. I can't believe it's already 2022. It's bizarre to me. I feel like 2020 and 2021 were basically the same year. So tonight I am only going to be on for so long. I'm still going to do a group reading at the top. But I am currently at the end of fighting off COVID. Yay! So I'm totally okay, but my voice is a little bit bleh, and I need like hot water, and I can't imagine my voice lasting very long tonight. But if you want to know when I'm going to be live next, check the event link down below and you will see the next date that I'm going to be live. And if you're new here, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on Tuesday nights for our live readings. I'm glad you're okay. Thank you. And tonight, I basically just asked our guides kind of what we needed to know. And I'm just kind of keeping it open for tonight. I'm not really doing any theme. Don't really have many announcements. I'm kind of just getting ready for the new year. I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing a lot of intention setting, basically redid my vision board, got my goals out for this year, just been doing a lot of like inner work around what I want this year to look like. And because I got COVID and because all my Christmas plans got canceled, I had plenty of time to do that. So I'm kind of glad that I got that chance because it gave me a lot of time to sit, think, meditate, journal a lot. And now I really feel like refreshed and ready to go for the new year, but not in a way that I'm like, yeah, let's go, burn myself out, but more like I've got this time. So I hope that you guys all feel the same. If you feel like you want to some advice on how to kind of get this new year going, especially with like intentions, check out our last live video because I gave a ton of information on things you could do for the new year. One of them I'll just throw out there that I never got to do, but I wish I did, was you can write yourself a letter as if it's the end of 2022 and write it as if you're saying, wow, congratulations, Lauren, you had such a successful year. You did this, you did that, you did this, as if it's already happened. And that's a way to set your intention. I am going to have a candle video coming up soon. So if you're wanting to do something a little bit more than just kind of writing out your intentions every time you want to manifest something, I'm going to show you guys how you can use candles to basically do like a little fun ritual. So that's coming your way. This week's video is, it's actually an old member video, but the majority of you guys have not seen it. And it's me talking about my childhood experiences and how they formed psychic blocks and kind of how we can avoid those, help our kids, or even just unlearn some of the blocks that we might have had around our psychic abilities. So that is going to be Friday's video. Next week, we're going to be starting a whole new series of videos, all fresh, all new. I'm really excited. Hey, Erica. Hey, Lori. Welcome. So yeah, that's basically it that I have for tonight. I'm straight into the group reading because, again, I don't know how long I'm going to last. All right, so group reading. I pulled two major arcana cards. So the first card that I pulled is the Empress. And the Empress card is basically saying that we have all this abundance at our fingertips. And I feel like this is kind of, like, I know I said just kind of whatever, but I'm feeling like our guides are saying like this is 2022 for us. We have the ability to attract abundance. We have the ability to attract anything we want, desire, and need. And it's literally just a thought away. It's a mindset away. It's a perspective away. And they're telling me to share kind of one of the insights that I had over this period. And this is kind of getting into my Saturn return. My Saturn return is over. Woo! As of yesterday, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm going to give it a little bit, and then I'm going to do a follow-up podcast on kind of like what the end of my Saturn return looked like. And man, it packed a punch towards the end. Lots of animal and vet bills, COVID right at the end, canceled plans. It was lovely. But if you're curious about that, follow my podcast. I probably won't talk about it here much on my YouTube. I talk about more personal stuff to me on my podcast. So if you're interested, I'm going to be probably putting that up in the next week or so and just talking about overall what my Saturn return was like. And what was the message that I was supposed to share in regards to that? Oh, just how I feel like the majority of my turn, I felt like I was kind of in this mind fog of not seeing how good my life was. And then once I got to the end of this year and I purposely set intentions, set goals, I purposely looked at the successes of 2021 that I had. It wasn't until then that I realized how great of a year I had, but I was just so unwilling to see it that way. And so I feel like this is sort of the same message that's coming through for the rest of us for 2022. It's it's a matter of perspective. You can have this abundance. You can see it all around you. This garden could be growing, but if you can't see it, then it's not going to really feel like it's there. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Hey, Michael. And I asked, how can we see this abundance? How can we manifest it more? And I pulled the Three Monkeys card. And this card, what was this all about? When I look at this card, I think of something else. But, the understanding that you are wise. And you have, when I think of the word wise, I think of using both your intuition and your practical knowledge. It's like using both your left brain and your right brain, your psychic mind and your analytical mind. And so when it comes to this year and attracting abundance, it's about remembering to tap into both, remembering to tap into both your intuition and your experience, your knowledge, the things that you have under your belt that you are good at. And it's basically saying that, abundance is not something that's out of your reach. You are wise. You are able to tap into it at any time. And then I pulled the Doorways card. And this to me is about after you've done this, kind of after you're paying attention, you're using your wisdom to kind of search out this abundance, you're paying attention to what doors open up. I think so often we set an intention for something, we pray for something, we ask for something, and then we just kind of let it go to the universe, and then we don't pay attention to how it actually manifests. And there might be a clear open door, but we forgot that we set that intention, and so then we don't take that doorway. So this is just remembering to pay attention once you set those intentions and see if any doors open. And when they do, step through them, follow the trail of breadcrumbs that your guides give you and just go with it. And, you don't have anything to fear because you have that wisdom. You're going to know if it's the right path or not. And then the other thing that I was getting with this card, because there's kind of phantom guys standing in front of the closed doors, and it's almost the same message of okay, when you're hitting a closed door, don't stand there and keep trying to reopen it when something is not working. Stop. If you're overworking yourself this year, if you are trying to push something and it just keeps falling apart, stop, pay attention, and see if there's another door open. And then I think the last card I pulled was, I just wanted to know if there was any more advice. And I'm just now seeing that this is the World card. This is Archangel Michael. And there's the number 21 up here. And when I think of the World card, I think of an ending. And especially with 21, I really feel like this is our guides coming in and saying, 2021 was an end. There's a period after 2021. There's something new, something different coming along the way. I've actually picked this up in readings several times. And the card is a very, very happy end, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. So I do feel like this is two messages in one. I feel like one is saying that 2021 is coming to an end, that energy is no longer here, it's no longer going to bother us. And then it's also saying that the new chapter that we're starting, because the World card is always about one thing ending, but then the next thing beginning. And this next period of our life is going to be very much centered around spiritual growth. And that could be your personal, it could be stuff that you do for other people or around other people. But I think, too, if anyone resonates with Archangel Michael, he might definitely be here to protect the upcoming year. Anything else? I want to pull more cards. I want to get into individual readings because yes. How do you calculate when your Saturn return ends? I had to use a calculator online because I didn't know. I kept searching that information everywhere. And unless you know how to read your birth chart, like, I don't know. So I just I think I Googled Saturn return calculator, and it was either the first or second search result that I was able to see when it started and when it ended, and also the peak of it, like when it was most direct. And that's how I figured out mine ended yesterday. And yesterday I was kind of like, okay, is anything going to happen? I was like waiting for like myself to feel like completely different. Obviously I didn't, but we'll see as time goes on. I do feel way more optimistic. I will say that, but I don't know if that's simply because I did all this New Year's intention setting. It might've been. Hey, green team. What's green team? Oh, green team, like our members. Heck yes. Cool. Hello, everyone. Hey, Jana. All right. So I'm going to jump straight into individual readings. It doesn't look like we have donations yet. Actually, I do want to ask you guys while we have a lot of our members here before you guys head off for tonight. I wanted to ask because I've been thinking about doing our little Zoom party that we were talking about. And I haven't had much time to like give it a whole lot of thought, but I was thinking it might be nice to just be able to talk to you guys face to face and actually get some opinions about my channel and just get some feedback from you guys. So I'd be curious if you'd be willing to jump on purely for that and maybe just have like a meet and greet. I don't know. It would be nice to just get some opinions on what you want to see out of the new year. I was also thinking for my channel, I was also thinking of doing a survey, but I just feel like not a whole lot of people would go out of their way to do a survey. I just want to ask a bunch of questions about like what you want to see, what your favorite videos are, just so I can understand a little bit more about what you guys like. But yes, I think that's everything. So Amber, perfect timing. Carolyn would totally love a Zoom chat. I don't know what else we would talk about, but I think starting a conversation around that would be great, and then we could talk about other things. I keep looking for a structure, and maybe there shouldn't be a structure at the beginning. I don't know. All right. Amber asks, is there any message for me? Let me... This deck I absolutely love, but it's so stiff and hard to shuffle. Did you guys get any cool stuff for Christmas? Any new decks? Any new books that you want to share? All right. Amber, Amber, Amber. Ooh, that one. Ooh, Amber. So Amber, I pulled the Seven of Swords and Strength. And so to me, the Seven of Swords is kind of all about like your mental health and pushing through the hard times, especially when things are tough and you feel like you're dropping the ball. I think your guides are trying to say, hey, like we know this has been happening. We know there's been a struggle here, but they want you to understand that you do have, your inner strength and you can get through this. And so maybe you've been thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can do this. I don't have the resources, or like I'm hearing that you kind of make up an excuse of like, I don't have enough time during the day. But they're trying to say that your mental health is like number one right now to figuring out whatever it is that you want. And the sooner you can realize that you have the ability to work through things, to take care of yourself, to actually carve out time for yourself, you have that inner strength. I think you're going to realize that, I don't know, a lot of it is just in your head and you actually have the tools and the resources that you, oh, cool. And then I pulled material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of giving or receiving with a grateful heart. So if you're like worried at all about like money or job or just kind of things in your life around stability, I think it's kind of drawing attention to focus on your mind first, focus on the thoughts that you have around this. And when you understand that a lot of it is, negativity that you're putting out, and the quicker you can not quicker, but the more you can understand that like your thoughts are your reality and that you have the strength and the power to change that, I think it's going to shift your perspective so much that you just look at things differently. And they're really not all that different. It's just like it was all about your mindset to begin with. And this is saying that you're really protected. The things that you're actually worried about, you're really protected in it. It's just kind of like the lens you're seeing it through. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Awesome. Thank you for the donation, Amber. The bunny is in. Bridget gave me the Sacred Forest Oracle deck. Ooh, is that the one I have? No, I have the Forest of Enchantment. Fun. And a crystal deck. Nice. You got all sorts of decks. I still haven't had my Christmas with my family because my mom had a COVID scare. Then my brother had COVID. And then we had COVID. So I haven't even seen my family at all. I'm seeing them on Saturday, though. I'm excited. You're welcome, Amber. All right. So we're going to just keep doing individual readings until my voice gives out. I do have that member timer set as well. Just pull out my last deck. But yeah, just let me know if you guys are still interested in that Zoom party or not. I don't know if you'd be excited. It sounds like not very many people would be excited to just show up to give me feedback. So maybe if you have any other ideas, let me know. Alrighty, so I'm going to do a guessing game because we don't have any more donations. I am thinking of a country. If you can guess the country that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. I'm interested in a Zoom party. Zoom party depends on time, though. Yeah, I know you're in a weird time zone. Yurika, I wouldn't say that. Last night I had a dream that I went to Japan, which is funny. Japan. New Zealand. Lori, you got it. Lori got it. I was thinking of New Zealand. Let me know what your question is, Lori. I'm not sure how this works. Sorry, Luna. So basically, if I've caught up on donations, we do guessing games. And if you don't want to wait around for the guessing game, you can make a donation and then through Super Chat or Venmo, and then we'll get back to those. So, but yeah, I had a dream last night that I went to Japan and I was going with all my friends and we were just like trying to figure out all of our accommodations, and it was very stressful. It was a weird dream. Any messages that I need to know? Which deck? We want this deck. I love this idea. Thank you. I came up with it back in my Periscope days. And it made it so that people who couldn't pay still got a reading, but it prioritizes the people that donate. Ooh, Lori. Wheel of Fortune. So I first pulled the Wheel of Fortune card, and this is like one saying just good fortune, good opportunities coming to you, but it's also a message of like, it's not complete. There's still more research that needs to be done. It might almost be that you have a lot of options in front of you and you're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out in what regard this is, because then I pulled the Moon. So I pulled two major arcana cards for you. And the Moon is all about like illusion or deceptions. Is that what it means for Lori? It has a lot of meanings, but it can also be about intuition. To me, I think this is just, it's like, blah, blah, blah. It's been a while since I've been on live. Words are not here. So the Moon card, I think, is definitely about like the perceptions, the things that cloud our judgment. And so I think what's going on here, Lori, is I think you've got opportunities in front of you. You have things that can come to fruition. They might even be like a little bit overwhelming right now, like you don't know which direction to go. I kind of feel like this is the general energy that you have in regards to like the future. Like just you're like looking at the future and you're like, I don't know what to do. And my timer is about to go off. Right. My timer went off. Lori was the most recent one to comment, but Lori's already getting a reading, so the next most recent member that commented we'll say is Yurika. So Yurika, you'll get the member reading for tonight. Let me know what your question is. I'll get to Yurika after this. What was I saying? But I think right now you're kind of distracted. And maybe I think the reason why you might be distracted because the moon is all about sometimes people pleasing or the masks that we put on to please other people. So it's kind of like you might not be able to decide on which direction to go because you're wondering about what everyone else wants you to do instead of saying, hey, what do I want to do? And so the moon card is kind of about getting past these deceptions, saying, hey, what do I want ultimately? And then still doing the further research to bring about these manifestations that are good for you. So they're there, they're definitely coming your way, but it's like just a little bit more work needs to be done around them. I just want to pull one more card of advice just to see if we can get anything else. That's so funny. So I got this card, which is literally... It's Seven of Raphael. I can't remember what, I think it's the Seven of Cups in traditional tarot. I forgot that these are traditional tarot cards. Gosh, I should read them more often. But this is like, look at all these buckets of ideas and opportunities you have. And it's like, which one do I go with? And this says, time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, and take action, a need for detoxification. And I think that detoxification is really about shifting into what do I want instead of what does everyone else want from me. Awesome. I feel like I pulled that for you last time. Am I crazy? I might be crazy. I have, those are great cards. Yeah, these ones I think are the Divine Tarot. It's such like a boring name, but they're really pretty cards. Let's see. How long have you read cards? I've been reading them longer than I've technically been a psychic, but I use my intuition, but I also am trained now in learning tarot as of like a couple weeks ago, but before that, I read it intuitively. So a little bit all over the place. You got the Hermetic Tarot deck. Much of the artwork is really dark, but there's so much background detail. Oh yeah, I really love the cards that have multiple layers of meaning, especially because like I feel like some of Colette Baron Reid's cards, there's not like a whole lot there. Like there's a little bit, but you know, every time I read a card, it's like I see the same thing and there's not much else to see there. But other cards can have lots and lots of layers for sure. Oh, and I'm just now remembering, I keep forgetting to unsqueak my mouse wheel. I do have a lot of indecision when it comes to what I want to do in the future. Oh my gosh. I do have a meditation on, what's my meditation? Show me the way. When you don't know what you want, but you know you want to move forward, maybe check out that meditation. Hello, everyone. So we're not doing like any added stuff. Basically, what I do is I do donations first. See, I figured out how to pin something, and that's what I should have put in there. Donations come first, and then if I catch up on donations, we do a free guessing game reading. So it's not a list as much as a guessing try to win for the reading. I wasn't here last time, but thank you so much for this message. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm highly intuitive on people, but not good at tarot. Well, Jano, what I tell everybody is that when I learned how to be psychic, I was not allowed to use any tools. There was no tools in my classroom. We had to rely on our psychic abilities and our 6 clairs only. So I think it is not the worst thing if you don't know how to use tarot cards. Thank you, Amber. I just want to make sure Yurika, you got the member reading for tonight, so just wanted to make sure you heard me. All right, Amber. Any message from Will, who passed on? I want to use these angel cards. I think one of the resolutions that I need for this year is I need to just put my cards on display, because every time I put them in the box, I'm like way less likely to use them. And it's not that I don't want to take them out of the box, but I feel like because I can't see them fully, I don't grab them as often. Do you guys know what I mean? Okay. Any message from Will? And I will say, too, I did bump up my minimum donation to $7. So no worries about it this time, Amber. I forgot to say it at the beginning, so I'll still give you a reading anyway. Let's do message from Will. Ooh, very cool. So I got, there is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you, a spiritual quest. And I actually feel like with the artwork on this card, this is sort of you, and this is like literally him off in the distance being like, hey, I have this path. You know, I can show you, I'm on this other side. I can help you. Why don't you follow this trail that I'm leading you on? So I'm starting with that card, but I'll see intuitively if I'm getting anything else. Ooh, and I'm going to turn up my heater because it is really cold in here. I thought I turned it up enough, but it's not, and I'm cold. Okay, there's something better for you. Like, I feel like Will, I feel like you want to talk about him and some of the things that maybe you didn't get to say, or any like regrets that you might have. But he's really coming in and trying to like dismiss all of that and say like, I'm fine. Let's focus on you. The energy that he's giving me is very like, he's calling you like his your fairy godmother in a way. Like the energy that I'm getting from him is almost like very flamboyant, very silly, very fun. And he's kind of coming across as like, let's focus on you. Like, let's do this. Let's do self-care. Like, I know it's silly, but like the person who's coming to my mind is Jonathan Van Ness. Like, he's got that type of energy. And I think he's just trying to come in and like pump you up. And he's trying to lead you to certain things he really wants you to see. So I just want to ask him how he's going to communicate with you through epiphanies. So if you ever have any like claircognizant downloads, or you just have this epiphany of like, I should do this, it might be him coming through and trying to like lead you on this path and kind of like tell you where to go next. Epiphany. All right. Thank you again, Amber. Luva, thank you for your donation. So let me do Lou next. Any messages I need to hear? Double check he didn't ask anything. You are right on about Will. Thank you. You're welcome. Like, he immediately just made me think of like Jonathan Van Ness. Not in the sense like he maybe was gay or something like that, but like just very like flamboyant and like cares so much about other people. He was all about you, and let's zhuzh you up, and let's protect you, and let's give you everything you need. All right, any messages? I want to pull from the tarot for Lou. How was your guys' holiday, though? Did any of you guys get sick? I didn't lose my taste or smell, but like I sort of got like, I have this weird sensation where it feels like I ate peppermint. and I feel like I can taste it all the time, and it's the most bizarre thing in my mouth that it's so distracting. And I'm vaccinated too. Thankfully, I got like the booster right before I got sick, so it's only been like a really tiny cold for me, but the taste thing has been weird because I just feel like I taste peppermint all the time. Anyways, so Lou, 10 of coins, 7 of cups. Ooh, I just got like a bam. This is your 2022, Lou. I keep almost saying 2021. You got the 10 of coins, Lou. And to me, this is saying this year is the year where you step into like financial stability. It's the year that you step into like just feeling secure and safe, especially in regards to like your home, your work, just the very practical things. It could be money as well. And the first step, though, is that you really have to start picking things out and just, making decisions. So this is like almost like the same card I just pulled, 7 of Cups. And this is all about, we have so many decisions in front of us. And this is Aladdin. And he's like, which lamp is it? Which one do I go with? And I think the energy of where you're at right now is you're just like, I have so many options. I have so many decisions. And this is really just about making a decision and moving forward with it and trusting, keeping in the back of your mind that you're going to have this abundance, you're going to have this success, but the more inaction you take or the more you try to spread yourself thin, the less quick it's going to happen. And I just asked if there was any more advice around this. God, these pictures are ugly. I always felt like this was Doreen Virtue being like, put me on a face of a mermaid. Because it looks so much like her. So this says, reasons to celebrate a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. To me, I'm kind of just getting the impression that, well, it could be one of two things. If you're not sure where to focus on or where to go or decide next, it could be the option that revolves around other people, coming together, working with other people, or just like incorporating teamwork a little bit more into whatever option you're sort of looking at. But I also feel like this is saying that this year you have to remember to celebrate those successes. You have to remember to stop and pause and enjoy why you're doing it. Why are you trying to make all this money? Why are you trying to get the stability? It's because you're trying to create this life and you have to make sure that you enjoy it, especially because the 10 of coins, I'm not sure if I pulled this up, but this card is like this old guy and he's got all the money, all the things he wants and he needs, but he's also got a family around him and a wife and kids. And, he's actually doing it and he's not alone. He's sharing that. So it's kind of like, what is the intention behind it? And remembering to, remember the reason why you're doing it and share your successes with other people and let other people into your life and just pick something and go with it. Because you have so many options, but they're all going to yield in success. You just have to pick one, if that makes sense. Awesome. Thank you, Lou. Thanks for the donation. I haven't bought a tarot deck yet. I want to, but I'm scared. Any advice on that, by the way? I think I made a long time ago that's like a quick start guide to tarot. And really, the only thing that you should be afraid with tarot is just not setting your intention right or making sure that you are talking to the right people. So like when I am pulling these tarot cards, I'm making sure that I am talking to my guides or your guides. The only way you could use these incorrectly is if you pick it up and don't say, hey, I'm talking to my guides, or hey, I'm talking to the spirits of my highest and best good. Because then, you could be just channeling in some random spirit that is negative that's nearby. So that's really the only thing I would be afraid of with tarot. But even then, it's as simple as just saying it out loud. Hey, I'm only talking to spirits of my highest and best good through these cards. Nobody else is allowed. I can't get this light where I want it, and it doesn't flatter my face. All right. You haven't bought a tarot deck either. Again, you guys, like, you don't need one. You can use your psychic ability. Like, I only ever had one tarot deck going through that whole psychic class, and I never touched it. And I was taught to use my psychic abilities only. So I think it's a strong suit, especially because a lot of people start to use these as crutches and they feel like they can't read unless they have a tarot deck in front of them. So I would highly encourage you guys to work on your clairs first and get a tarot deck later. Yurka says, I'm working on a yoga pose, but it needs more work. I feel like my life is starting to change and get busy, but will I be able to attend yoga class at least until I complete the pose? Okay. And Yurika had the member question. I feel like the first thing that came through was your guides were like, hey, if you need to practice it at home, like say you can't go to a physical class, set aside 10 minutes of your day as if you were going to go to that class. Like you don't physically need to be in that space to achieve that pose. They were like very easily showing me like you can have the time to squeeze it into your day and not actually have to like go across town, lose all that time. They want you to kind of get out of the mindset of like it has to be in this place to work. Especially because they're telling me like this will be such a personal achievement to you. Like it's small, but it's more about the fact that you stuck with it. And even though your life changed and you got busy, you still made time for it. And I think it's more of this bigger lesson of that can be anything in your life. You might get busy, you might not have the time to do these things, but if you set aside just a chunk of your day and commit to it, that could be anything that you commit to. And I feel like that's why you're being drawn and pushed to do it, is because you're being challenged to like have to do it in a really odd time crunch, if that makes sense. And let me still pull one card about it. So what do you need to know about this whole thing? I will say about the completing the pose. What do we need to know about it? That's a funny card to pull. I pulled One Ring Circus, which to me, like thinking about yoga and poses, like is kind of like a circus. This is actually a perfect card because I feel like One Ring Circus, this is saying like sometimes you have to do it alone and you have to be the only one that shows up. And I think part of the yoga class is like there's an accountability there of like somebody else being like, hey, show up, come in and do this. But this is relying on yourself to do it and keeping yourself accountable. But it's basically saying you are a One Ring Circus. You can accomplish this. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need the whole circus to help you do the act, if that makes sense. All right. I would suggest the Light Seer deck. If you aren't interested in a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. Is that like still within the realm of tarot, Lori? Oh, you're fine, Amber. You're fine. Amber, would you like another just like small question? I've been told I have a very calming aura. That's nice. You are so talented, Laura. I don't even know my own name tonight. Thank you, Karen. Karen's like my personal cheerleader over here. Hi, Shirley. Sore throat, but no COVID. Oh, good. My son got it, and then we got it. And it was like, ah! Hello, Random Minds. Thanks for being here. Sick with cold from Dum Dum Sister. You had your first shot yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad you got it, Jana. I will say that I think if I didn't have those shots, I would be feeling a bajillion times worse. Because my brother was the one who gave it to us. And my brother missed his booster. But he had all of his previous shots. He felt 10 times worse than we ever did. And I think it was because his previous shots kind of wore off and he missed that booster. Bad sinusitis before the holidays, but no COVID. Oh, I'm so glad for you guys. Yes, I'm playing psychic games. First I catch up on donations. I think I still have Amber if Amber wants a question. And then we do guessing games. I'm going to pin that next time. I was like, oh, I can pin something. But then I was like, what do I say? What do I always need to say that I forget to say? You should do this on Twitch. I'd love to collab if you're free ever. I don't know if I could start over on Twitch. I feel like it takes so long to get followers anywhere else, but I'll think about it. Thank you, Luna. Are you on Twitch? I assume you are. You're welcome, Lou. I want to get into it for, oh, okay. Listening to another psychic medium. Wow. She mentioned that she would not recommend anyone start doing tarot unless they were trained in discernment first. It scared me. I mean, you can absolutely read tarot. Like the person that I took tarot from, she does not do any psychic ability, anything. She is a tool person only, which is such a like an opposite from me, but it was so great to just hear someone else's perspective. She's actually doing a rune class, which I really want to take. I keep forgetting about that. But yeah, you can read tarot or oracle cards intuitively. You can literally just memorize them and read them by the book. I think using your psychic ability at the same time is just helpful, and it helps strengthen that. So accurate. It's not about the pose, it's about perseverance. Lightseer deck is a tarot, which is more modern pictures. Awesome. I feel like I've heard of it. I've definitely heard of it. Booster is best. Yes. I see a message pinned to the top of my chat. Yeah, and just so you guys know, you can hit the top 3 buttons, and I believe you can dismiss it. So then it doesn't keep showing up for you. If that's annoying, let me know. I just wanted to try it out for tonight. I can also do polls, but then I was like, I don't know. What kind of poll should I do? Any suggestions on a good clairaudience workbook? The only books that I have seen to discuss clairs are the books that my mentor created, which is the Psychic Workbook and the 90-Day Cards. So that's all I got for you. And those are usually linked in almost every description of my video because people ask so often. Awesome. I'm on Twitch. Let's see. Was that Amber. Amber, just double checking you didn't have any other questions for that last donation. And then I think we'll do another guessing game. You can build so fast there. That's interesting. I guess my husband did get on Twitch, and I've heard that it's really slow, but that might just be the gaming community, probably because it's so saturated over there. I've been trying to grow my YouTube for so long, And I definitely got a little demotivated at the end of the year because I was just looking at analytics way too much, and my numbers are just going down. And so I'm all in my head. I'm like, oh, my videos suck. No one likes me. But one of my resolutions for this year is I'm just going to make the videos I want to make, and I'm not going to look at my analytics so much anymore. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Michael. That's my whole goal here with my channel is I really want you guys to understand your psychic ability. And a lot of people don't have those resources. Like the most resources they have are a few YouTube videos that are kind of crappy. Not mine, like other people talking about the psychic ability. But I've never seen one that was like really accurate. It was more just kind of like vague and like, oh, you just do it. You're just psychic and you just do it. And it's not helpful. And then, I don't know, like, unless you know of the books that are out there, there's a lot of books that are just fluff and they don't actually give you practical advice. So that's one of my biggest goals with my channel is just to help people access these tools that they all have within them. And I think that if you live in an area that this is not supported, then it's really hard for you to get that information and feel protected and feel like you can get rid of spirits and all that good stuff. Oh, Happy New Year, JC. I'm glad you caught me. Hey, Princess Adrienne. I'm so glad you love the 90-day cards. Karen's like, guessing game. Let's get on it. Right before Erica donates. All right, Erica, will your financial wish come true? Okay, I'll answer that question just as you asked it, but then I'm going to ask, how can you make it come true? Because if I told you just straight up no, I don't want you to give up. I want you to have action items. I want you to have things that you can do. One of the things I really want you all to do is go watch my video on how to ask better psychic questions, because that has been something I've noticed a lot lately. What am I doing? I don't want these cards. I want these cards. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Okay. I'm all over the place. So Erica has a financial wish. Will it come true? Just asking the yes or no question. Ooh, I'm feeling like that's a yes, but I'm going to pull action items as well. So I pulled the wheel, and the wheel card can sometimes mean like feeling like you're going around in circles. But this card specifically says new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. So I'm feeling like that's a pretty big yes. Especially because the number 10 is usually about completion. Whereas, if I got any other number, it might have signified, oh, we're just starting, we're not there yet. So I'm feeling like it's a pretty big yes. I don't know when, but I'm going to ask how you can manifest this financial wish. That way, you can push it. You can co-create with the universe and say, I'm serious about this. Here's me doing all these things to show you that I'm serious. And then we can further manifest that quicker. Bam. Oh, I don't think I've ever pulled this card. Oh, that is such a beautiful card. How have I never pulled this? I'll just show you first. 10 of Cups. I wonder what, because each of these are a fairy tale. I'm going to have to look up what that fairy tale means. Stop focusing on me and focus on the card. Anyway, so how you can manifest this, Erica? So I pulled the Three of Swords, and to me, the Three of Swords is about just finding harmony mentally. So when you think about this financial wish, like really what I'm hearing is like, are you being practical about it, but you're also being hopeful? Like when you come at it from a mental angle, are you like desperate for it, or are you being pretty like open to how it's going to happen, and you're not trying to like stress out or do a bunch of things that kind of hurt your mentality around it. So this is really about just understanding how you think about it in your mind and how that can affect you, because we really want to avoid like self-sabotaging thoughts, because those might not help you manifest it as well. And then the 10 of Cups. To me, this is kind of like being the master of your emotions and your intuition. So when it what am I saying? When it comes to like this wish that you might have, this intention or desire, it's about being fully understanding of where your emotions are around it and making sure they're like positive, healthy emotions. And you're being like like the best way I can describe this is being both practical and hopeful. You're not being cynical and saying, oh, I'm not going to get it, but you're also not like so hopeful. You're delusional about it, and you're trying to make it like happen a very specific way. You're really open to it. Let me see if there's anything else with this card. Like to me, this is saying no matter what happens, either way, you're saying I'll be set. Like I'll be happy no matter what happens. My happiness and my emotions do not ride on this thing coming true. So if you can get on top of that, which is very similar to this first card, I think you're going to manifest it more. And then the King of Swords. This is very much like a mental approach to it, because the King of Swords is saying that You're going to come to this wish with fresh ideas if you need it to. You're going to do the inner work around it, and then you're actually going to take action on it. You're doing all of those things at once to try to manifest it, especially around your mentality around it. And when I think of like financial mentality, I just think of like, what do you have positive thoughts around money and your financial future, or do you have lack mentality when it comes to money? So to me, this is all just about having positive money mindset. So how can you manifest it better? Having a positive money mindset with all of these, with your emotions and your mentality. That's like biggest things that are coming through. And because you don't need more, I will pull one more card. I'm just going to ask if there's anything you need to know about this wish. Erica, is it a house that you want? Please tell me. Is it a house? Because literally I have like this sold sign. Like, I always make fun of this card, how it's never literal, but I almost feel like it's literal for you. Goodness, excuse me. Let me know. So much going on in my life right now, I don't even know what to ask. I know what you mean. Oh, don't think that would love you in any content you put out. Thank you. I know, I really had to get out of my head. It was like kind of like that mentality thing that I was just talking about. I was like just getting way too much into the analytics, and it's like I'm getting all these positive comments from you guys and you guys thanking me, and I'm like, I need to stop using the numbers as a judge. I just need to make what I want to make, and the people that'll like me will like me and come for that. Or else I'm going to make a channel that I hate because all the content doesn't feel like me. The Cabal. I don't know how to say that, Michael, but somebody gifted me that book once. I've heard of that. Goodness. Excuse me. I might be ending or getting close to the end of my time. My throat's just already given out. Speaking of vaccines, I might be the only lady who hasn't gotten COVID or the vaccine yet. I'm a bit scared of either option. I will tell you that getting the vaccine was worse than I'm feeling now, but it was over in a couple hours. And what else was I going to say? That I trust in modern medicine, even though I'm a psychic. Trust in modern medicine, and I definitely advocate it. Obviously, if you're at risk and you have other things going on, like talk to your doctor. But I'm so glad I had that booster and all the other vaccines, because I could be doing so much worse right now. I basically got over it. I've had colds worse than this, and that doesn't mean that COVID's not bad. It just means that the vaccine helped. My body already knew how to conquer it, because it's been taught through those vaccines. Oh, here's what it is. Here's how to deal with it. And so it was familiar with the virus as soon as it came into my body, if that makes sense. So if you're on the fence about vaccines, I'm very pro-vaccine. A lot of my family hate me, but they're not the kind of family I want to stay in touch with. All right. Yes, it is money. Yes, I want my dream home with the money. Erica's like, all of the above. I mean, that is just such a clear freaking sign. I don't know when you'll get it, but that saying is absolutely coming. Just remember to stay on top of your mentality. Girl, I want to send you some money, but I can't remember my password. A few eggnogs. Yum. I also do Venmo, if that helps. Same here, got my kids vaccinated too. That was what was so scary, is my son is only 1.5, so we have not been able to get him vaccinated, because I think the youngest you can be vaccinated right now is age 5. So we were terrified, but he fought it off pretty well. It's still really scary though. All right. I think we're all caught up. So let's do another guessing game. I'm going to ask my guides. Okay, cool. So I just asked my guides what color the year 2022 is. So if you can guess the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the next reading, and I'll tell you guys the color and kind of what they're saying. Oh, I love it. Okay. Wow, you guys are so fast. Mine are 7 and 10. Oh, you're lucky, Jay. Oh, Silly Rabbit, you got it right away. Green. So, Silly Rabbit, green. Pink, yellow, green. Oh, Lori, you almost had it. So, it was green. So, who's that? Sorry. Silly Rabbit, you get the reading. Hi, Lauren, green. And I just asked, I've never thought about asking that before, but I asked my guides, what is the color for 2022? And if you've watched my aura video, different colors can mean different things to different people. So I still asked, what does green mean? And I heard fresh start, and I just smelled peppermint, which is funny because I've been smelling that nonstop. But that definitely was like psychic. It was not maybe peppermint as much as like fresh grass. So I'm definitely getting like fresh start energy around 2022, and they're definitely giving me chills right now. I really feel like we're going to turn around energetically this year. I know we were all like wanting that to be last year, but I just don't think it happened. I think we were still like picking up the pieces, but I'm just enjoying getting right answers for once. This year, I also want to bring back our memberships. I just want to make sure like I can handle whatever I decide to introduce. Oh, yeah, and I should have said that. You can guess as many times as you want. Hello, Mama Odie. I also changed all my profile pictures today. I have had the same like psychic profile picture probably for a couple years now. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Karen, I'm listening to you now. You're funny, Karen. Are we going to be getting any new emojis? Yeah, so the only way I can introduce new emojis is if I get new members. So I think every couple of members, I unlock a new emoji. So it kind of incentivizes me to push the memberships. So if you guys want to join the 99-cent membership, please do. It's only 99 cents a month. How much is that per day? Like a couple cents. So yeah, that's how we'll get more emojis. But I have this whole list over here of everything that I want to accomplish in 2022 for my channel. I am going to be redoing my main psychic course, making it a lot more beefed up, have a lot more resources to it. I don't know if it's going to replace the one I have or it's going to be just like a bigger version. I can't decide yet. I need to figure that out. I also want to just get my tarot cards out of the way because I've done them and I just, they haven't come to fruition yet. I almost thought about just ditching them, but then today I was doing a reading and I was like, my cards that I have would be so perfect right now if I could pull them. I want to maybe do a tarot webinar. I want to introduce new member perks, and then new membership levels, I should say. And then I want to do some in-person classes here in Colorado as well. But that redoing my main course is going to take a lot of time and energy that you guys probably won't see until it's up. But all right. So Silly Rabbit's question, what can I do to manifest my salary promotion faster? I have to rejoin, I think. Yeah, I think if you go to my page and click the join button, you can do that at any time. But right now, there's only the one membership tier. How can you manifest your salary promotion faster? Movement. Let me see here. What's your other question? What can I do to find a new second job? I'm trying to fight off the lack of mentality when it comes to money, but I need advice on this. Yes, well, one of my favorite books on lack of I think is Get Rich Lucky Bitch. Especially in the terms of job, I think Big Magic is one of my favorites for like finding work that you love and not letting the fear get in your way. So maybe check that out because I can't necessarily give you a whole lesson on lack mentality right now. But as far as how can we get the salary promotion faster, the movement card to me is basically saying, like, do anything you can to push it forward. So that's like very yang energy. Like, can you talk to somebody? Can you put up a presentation? Can you, do XYZ? It's about really not waiting on everyone else and trying to push that forward yourself. And then I pulled the listening card. So Silly Rabbit, I feel like this is also saying to listen to your intuition. It's funny because there's music notes around this as well. And I feel like this is kind of like listening to your intuition in the moments and deciding how and when to act. I think really how it should be is reading this card first. It's like listening to your intuition and knowing what to do to create that movement, because sometimes we're like, oh, I don't know, what should I do? Should I talk to somebody? Should I write up a letter? Should I go see the boss? And it's kind of about listening to your guides on when you should act on something. And the music to me is giving me this vibe of like, there's a rhythm, there's like a timing to when things might be a good opening or when things might not be. And so like, say you were going to come in and ask your boss for a raise or something, and you just notice that he's kind of like off today. It's about trusting that intuition of, you know what, maybe I should wait another day. And I'll just pull one extra card for what can you do to find a new second job. I pulled the Gentle Gardener card. So this to me is almost the opposite of that first one, of not acting super fast. This is like gently planting the seeds, waiting for the seeds to sprout, like really taking your time with it, setting the intention, understanding what you want, watering it, nurturing it, waiting for it to come up. So to me, this is very much like be slow with it, nurture yourself first, and then you're going to be able to understand kind of how you can go about doing it. And I feel like it might change and alter from how you expect it to look right now, which is why they kind of want you to gently garden it slowly. I know, Lori, I put in my resume and my letters of recommendation to Ritual Craft. I'm so glad that Ritual Craft does that. They like vet all their psychics. So let's hope I'm good enough in their eyes to have classes. But they had me like already submit a bunch of class ideas. So hoping we could do that. I love that store. Love that store. Good night, Amber. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you were on a higher tier, it got deleted. Yeah, so if you didn't move before I deleted it, you probably just got booted off completely. Brr, it's so cold. I know. What's the author on the Big Magic book? It's the same lady that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. I'll just Google it really quick. Big Magic author. I know her name. Elizabeth Gilbert. And it's got like this, like, and I will say that basically everything that I recommend is in my Amazon store. So if you go to my links, I always have a link to like my favorite products in my link tree. But that's where you can see basically anything, books, cards, anything I might have recommended that you can't remember is there. I really needed that guidance. Thank you. All right. Love it too. I know that store is so cool. Even though I'm like minutes away from, what's it called? ISIS. I'm just like not vibing with them as much these days. I got it wrong. Sorry. What did you get wrong? Oh, whatever you retracted. All right. Okay, so let me do another guessing game, right? I'm caught up on donations. I'm just going to go with this theme of like, what is 2022? And I'm going to ask my guides to give me like a symbol. Okay, so let me ask first. Okay. I'm thinking of an animal. If you can think of the animal that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading, and they're giving me 2. So I guess 2 people are getting this reading. What was it? It was... So there's 2. These are good guesses. Chicken. 2022's animal, chicken. That's not the answer, by the way. I was just laughing at the symbolism. If 2022 was a chicken. Year of the chicken. Eat more chicken is what I think of. I don't think anyone's gotten it yet, and I had 2. Okay, rhino. Michael, you got 1. I'll double check that I didn't miss anyone. So rhino is 1. There's still 1 other one that I was getting. Trash panda. I feel like you guys should have got this one. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, why wouldn't I have thought of that? This to me is also symbolic of like the message that I got with this animal, of us probably like ignoring it a little bit. Mickey the Chinchilla. Mickey the Chinchilla was one of my old pets. Okay. Rabbit. There you go. Silly Rabbit. You got it. Although, Silly Rabbit, didn't you get a free reading tonight? I think you did. So, Silly Rabbit, I'm going to have you choose somebody else. I'm going to just double check and make sure somebody... I feel like Rabbit should have been guessed like right away, but I don't think it did, because it was a rabbit and a rhino. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Rhino, Michael got... Looking for rabbit. Panda, no panda monkey. Oh, you know what? Mickey guessed it. I'm sorry. Or wait, oh no. Sorry, Silly Rabbit did get it. Okay, so Silly Rabbit, go ahead and choose somebody else for that, just because it's because I was here. I know. That's why I was like, I feel like people would have thrown it out there because it's on their minds because they're reading it. We always talk about rabbits in here. We do. Okay, so Michael got the rhino. And I will say the symbol, because I asked, what does a rhino mean? And I kind of thought of like James and the Giant Peach and the rhino that's like in the sky there. And like this, seeing something that's really intimidating and scary, but it's actually not real. And so it's kind of like 2022, we're fighting that energy a little bit. And then the rabbit, I got like just big fertility vibes, like lots of opportunities, lots of new things planned out, lots of things growing again in our lives. And that could just be money, it could be relationships, but it's like we're finally getting back into growing the future. You did say Rabbit, Mickey, but you said it after Silly Rabbit. And so awesome. So Mickey's giving it, Silly Rabbit's giving it to Mickey anyway. So Mickey, let me know what your question is. I will get to you after Michael. And I think I'm probably only going to be able to do like 1 or 2 more readings after this because my throat is just getting so dry. Okay. Any messages from my guides about reading tarot? I'll use tarot to answer that question. I feel like there was one other message with the rhino. telling my guys to give it to me again. I forgot it, but. Queen of Cups, Michael. And the queens I always see as like doing the inner work. And to me, like what I immediately got with this is doing the inner work around memorizing the cards. So like associating your personal meanings to each of the cards so that like when you're pulling them, you're like, oh yeah, this card means this because I have such a visceral connection to it. Like one of the things I've been pretty lucky to have is that as I learn the tarot, I've got this huge community that I can be like, hey, who wants a free reading? And then I got practice that way. And I feel like you just haven't had like the practice to get to know the cards and understand how they like might come up. Because I feel like this is very much like doing the inner categorization of like, what does that mean and how can I remember it quickly and categorize it and like bring it back up? But then it's also having like these personal meanings with the cards so that you can give like deeper meanings is what I'm hearing. Because it's a lot different from what I've learned of like just reading it face value and being like, oh, you're going to make money and it's going to be hard, which is very different than, you know, telling a story from the cards, if that makes sense. And the only real way you can tell a story is if you look at the cards, create a story, or have a story associated with it in your mind, if that makes sense. So it feels like just a lot of personal time with the cards, and doing the personal associations with it is going to help you the most right now. And I think the cups also is leaning into your intuition and leaning into your emotions. So maybe if you haven't been doing that as much, lean into your intuition with the cards. Like that's where I started to notice that I was blocking myself, is that I was getting intuitive hits. And then I finally just gave into them. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to start associating that card with that intuitive hit. And then it just gave me more meaning for each card, if that makes sense. All right. Totally love these lives. Thank you. Love the rabbit symbolism. Definitely feeling that. No babies here. Fertility. Lori's like, I don't take that energy. I love all the people on TikTok that like comment like, I claim no energy from this video. I always laugh at that. I mean, it's like, cool. Yeah, you can say it, but you don't have to like comment it. All right. So I think Mickey had the next question, and thank you. It looks like that was Jana. I'm literally working on that while watching this video. Here, I'll do a poll. I'm just going to do this poll just to test it out. But come on, create a poll. Okay. So I'm going to ask, is it going to let me? Okay. Tarot class. This is kind of half-assed, but I just want to see what this is like. It's a lot harder to do live. Would you rather have a tarot class in person? Not in person. What am I saying? Half of you probably can't even do that. Okay, note to self. This will take forever. Tarot class as a live webinar or a video course. And even if you probably wouldn't pay, just let me know. Which would you rather do? If you were doing a tarot course with Lauren, I just wanted to see if that works. I also wanted to know if it posted to the community. Did it work? I don't know if it worked. Oh, okay. It just took forever. Oh, but then I can't see your comment. Can I hide it? Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to unpin this. Just now, 6 votes. Okay, cool. How do I hide it, though? Okay, so polls are going to be difficult if I want to read the comments. That's good to know, at least. Thank you guys for letting me test this out. Okay. I'll just leave that up for a second, and I'll take it down. Any messages from my guides on my spiritual journey? I guess you guys probably would vote live because you're here. Anyways, the people that don't like lives are probably not here. That was a silly question, but all right. Any messages from my guides on my spiritual journey? And then I'll probably wrap it up after Jana. Or at least cap off the readings, I should say. So, 3 of Cups. Okay, that's interesting. Those are like 2 completely opposite cards. So, Mickey, I got the 3 of Cups, which to me, this card is all about like getting around other people, feeling like this harmonious energy of the people that are around you. And when it comes to like your spiritual journey, like I'm interpreting this as like, you know, talking through your spiritual journey or going to a class to help you feel more spiritual or going to like a, you know, a church or a gathering of some sort. It's really about the communal aspect of it. It will be helpful for you. But then I pulled the Hermit card. So it's kind of like these 2 opposite energies of like, you're going to need moments in your spiritual journey where you're with other people. These people might not even be like spiritual themselves. It could just be that, hey, you need to balance it with some family time and get around other people and not be a hermit all the time. But this is also going to be absolutely required. Being a hermit, withdrawing, focusing on that inner work and not necessarily being out in society or sharing the things that you're doing yet, because you still need to like gestate on them. You still need to do the inner work around them. So I'm getting these 2 kind of opposites, but I think they're both needed. So to me, that's saying that there needs to be a balance between these things, and maybe there's not that balance right now. Just pull one other card for you. And I'm just feeling like you have to move between these 2. With this additional card that I pulled, it's kind of the energy about shifting from one into the other, which is kind of difficult for you. And it's about maintaining that spiritual journey and yourself, not changing for those other people around you. It's bringing in that new version of you in all aspects of life, if that makes sense. Bringing that hermit, what you learned in that hermit stage, out into your everyday life and being that same consistent person no matter where you are. Same consistent person, you know, when I say that, obviously you can change and evolve, but it's about not wearing a mask to make other people around you happy. Okay, let me just end this poll really quick. And I want to see what happens. End poll. Do I get to see it? Oh, that's cool. Live webinar video course. Heck, I almost wonder if I do more live webinars this year. Okay. May I reach out to my grandma Evelyn? And my second question is anything from guides with my teaching business. Okay. I'm going to start with Grandma Evelyn with a tarot card. This is like the exact same card I pulled. There's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you, a spiritual quest. Because Grandma Evelyn is kind of like a guide for you, right, Jana? I feel like you kind of tune into her every now and then when you have questions, because you kind of look up to her as like somebody who knew what they were doing in this life. And so you kind of think, oh, when I'm lost or not feeling 100%, like she feels like a rock or somebody that I can rely on. She's trying to just make you realize that you have your own inner strength around this. There's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you, a spiritual quest, and trusting your own strength. So to me, this is saying like whatever you're thinking about, and I think she's kind of actually talking about your next question. It's like you have the ability to do it. Like I feel like you're waiting for permission, and she's trying to get you out of like waiting for permission and just doing it. And I don't know if I feel like this is just like a theme tonight of like wearing a mask for other people, because like when this card says there's something better waiting for you, it's almost like she's asking you, what in your life are you sort of not paying attention to that you're doing for other people, or you're doing because somebody told you to do it that way. That deep down you kind of know that there's a better way, but maybe you haven't seen it done that way. So you're like, oh, well, I can't do that. I feel like she's just trying to encourage you to be a lot more independent and rely on your own inner wisdom. I feel like that the group reading, Jana, for you at the beginning is very like important. I feel like a lot of that definitely is for you if you didn't catch that. And then your second question is anything from your guides about your teaching business. I'm just going to keep Grandma here with me to kind of help answer this question. Because she's saying like she's so proud of you and also like a little bit jealous that you even have the ability to create your own business. She's like, I couldn't do that. Like, I wasn't allowed to do that. And I think that's probably why that advice is coming from her, is she wasn't allowed to. And she's kind of like, if only I would have just stopped listening to everyone and trusted my own gut. Oh my gosh. And I just pulled the moon card again. So like that to me is all of what I'm talking about, of like, where are you putting on this other mask of doing the things that people are telling you to do just to make them happy? And the Lover's card is all about like, how are you your own best ally? And this is basically asking, what are your strengths? I mean, we just pulled that card. Like, what are your inner strengths? What are you good at? What do you know? Where is that wisdom? And how can you put that into action and not think or care about anybody else or what anyone else says? And then I pulled the 3 of Wands, which is also about like putting in the hard work and going for it and understanding that the journey might be a little bit hard and a little bit arduous, but kind of the castle in the sky is your end goal and you will get there, but it takes a little bit of hard work. You just have to make sure that your intention behind it is not doing it for somebody else or necessarily doing it in a way that someone else demands, and asking yourself, how can I do it in a way that plays to my strengths the best? Excuse me. All right, and any last card of advice from Grandma? You have invested wisely, have patience, and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. I think this is sort of a little bit future telling, like you are going to invest things wisely. So like make plans, figure out what you want to do, and then have patience for it to like come to fruition. Gosh, these cards are so ugly. What is this even? Look at this. This is so ugly. What is this guy doing? He's so creepy. He's like creepily staring at you while this like angel is behind him. I like how this is formatted and I like how it comes across in advice, but I do not like the pictures. They're so badly photoshopped. I just want to see if there's any else in here that are just like god awful. Like, what is this? I have to not show my face. He's like walking on a beach and he's abnormally large and there's a collie sitting next to him and he's white. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Jana. Thank you. It worked. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. No, because I got Mickey. Okay. I picked the live one. Oh, the poll worked. Okay. I see it. It's in the live chat. It disappeared. Yeah, I think it shows up for a bit. I saw someone else using it in a live, and I was like, how have I never seen this before? That was a really cool sync. I set the intention of sharing energy for the purpose of the reading, and you picked up on the exact thing I was doing. Nice. Hi, may I be added to the list? I think I'm actually done tonight. Although, did somebody else donate? Mickey donated. Okay, well, I'm done after Mickey. Because my voice is really starting to go. It's weird because it's like when I inhale, my throat is like really itchy. And it's like I really want to cough like all the time, and I'm trying really hard not to. Sorry, Mama Odie. Oh, so Mickey, did you not have a question? You're just sending that? Thank you. Let me know if I'm wrong. Awesome, Mickey. I feel like I'm missing my grandma now too. And just know that spirit works like that. If any of you are feeling like, oh, that message kind of felt like it was for me, take it. Take it as partly for you. Replaying this live again. Yeah. I get it. Throw in your comments so you can find it next time. I live with my grandma Evie. Oh. We fought a few times when she was alive, and I feel a little stuck about it. Does she have any hard feelings about it? I don't think so. Usually I find that people that have crossed over pretty well, which is her for sure, they don't hold on to stuff like that. People that are still stuck in the here and the now, and they still have their biases and their opinions and their agendas, those types of spirits might still be stuck on it. But usually for the most part, it's like not a big deal. And I'm even seeing her be like, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And with dementia, it's almost like it's almost like even harder. That was a donation to show my things. Oh, thank you, Mickey. You're awesome. For me, rest your voice. Thank you. I think my grandma makes my right ear ring sometimes. Absolutely. I always talk about your guys can use so many different ways of communicating with you, and no one way is right or wrong. It was so cool because I talked to somebody over the holidays, and they told me that the way that they see their guides is first they see a geometric symbol in their mind, and they know that on this symbol's like points, it's like a different guide. And so whenever like one point lights up, she knew that this was like a different guide communicating with her. And so every time she wanted to talk to a guide, she visualized the symbol, and she said sometimes she drew it in front of her with her hand. And that's how she communicated with her guides. And I was like, that's so cool. That's so different. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's whatever resonates with you and works with you most. Yeah. I lost 2 of my cats in less than 2 weeks. So because you next time. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Mama Odie. The energy has been funky town. Like I said, my Saturn return went out with a bang. Off to Costco. Have fun at Costco. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go take care of my voice. Oh, and I might be able to catch my son before he goes to bed. So thank you all. I will see you. I don't think it's next week, but the following week. I will keep in touch with you guys about doing a Zoom party. I'll probably chat with you guys about that in my Facebook group. So before I use my playing cards to do a reading, I ask for guidance from a specific guide, but similar to them, I should try that. Heck yes. I mean, our guides speak to us in symbols. They can also speak to us literally. I think I have a video on that as well, like how to interpret those and how to interpret the language that your guides use, and it's different for everybody. So like when people are like, oh, this means that, I'm always like, that's what it means to you. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what it means to somebody else. So it's very variable. Oh no, Mama Odie, I'm so sorry. Oh, that sucks. Alrighty, you guys. I am off for tonight. I will see you next time. I'm very blurry right now. Alrighty. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Bye.